is somewhat interesting in itself. One thing I didn't touch upon in the talk, but sometimes I do, is the notion of language. And so when I say about re-evaluating our relationship with animals and their purpose on this planet, we have to look at how we refer to them and the language that we use. And one thing that most of us say, and I used to say it, and sometimes I still do and I catch myself out, is we call animals it. Look at it. Isn't it nice? It. What's an it? An it is an inanimate object. You look at your phone and you go, oh, that it is my phone. It has no sentience, no consciousness, but an animal is a someone. They're a being, they're alive, they're conscious. What defines us as a someone? The consciousness and sentience, the fact that we're individuals. Well, these animals are therefore, by definition, someones as well. The notion of an it denigrates them to property status, which is what society seeks to do. It seeks to devalue the lives of non-human animals till we refer to them as property. In the eyes of the law, they're property. In the eyes of our vocabulary, they're property as well. And so the word pet and the word owner also plays into this because it suggests dominion, exploitation, assertiveness, authoritarianism. And so we look at dogs. And this was quite traumatizing. Someone said to me this once, because we're talking about dogs. And I said, our dogs are wonderful. They just unconditionally love. And I said, well, that's interesting, but have you considered this way? Everything a dog does in their day is dictated by what you want them to do. They go out to the toilet when you take them out. They're fed when you feed them. They have water when you feed them. They go for walks when you feed them. They go to bed when you want them to go to bed. And so they rely on you for everything. They rely on you for all of the necessities in their life. Then you call that Stockholm syndrome, where you become reliant on your captor because everything that you need to sustain your life is dependent on what they do and what they say. And so we refer to it as unconditional love, but actually potentially that unconditional love is just a form of dependency, that they need to be loved by you so that you give them what they need to sustain their life. And that's horrible, isn't it? What a horrible feeling that is. I don't know if that's necessarily true. I do believe that dogs can unconditionally love for more reasons than the fact that we dictate their entire schedule, but at the same time it draws upon ideas of exploitation and dominion.
PETA, the often controversial animal rights group, is raising eyebrows again, and this is not about getting you to go veg or ditch your leather boots.
Not at all. According to records, PETA's animal shelter in Norfolk killed nearly 90% of its animals last year, saying they were unadoptable. But how hard did they try to save them? 10 on your side, Stephanie Harris is looking into this allegation of really hypocrisy.
Anita, Tom, PETA admits they've been killing animals for years. The organization says the animals they kill are in such bad shape that no one would adopt them. But a group called the Center for Consumer Freedom alleges they don't even try. So 10 on your side went to find out. We've all seen the stunts. PETA putting half-naked models outside MacArthur Center, lining the circus route with protesters, and the undercover video of neglected animals like this that forced a Gates County research lab to turn over its dogs. They are less flashy, however, when it comes to spreading the word of euthanasia in their own headquarters.
The hypocrisy here is obvious, and we just hope people wake up to it.
Justin Wilson is with the Center for Consumer Freedom, which has been fighting PETA for years.
PETA doesn't even have any open hours at their animal shelter. Most people don't even know that they run an animal shelter.
10 on your side asked PETA's campaign manager, Danielle Katz, about that.
PETA is a shelter of last resort. We take in the animals that nobody else will take in.
We asked to see the shelter. She showed us to a room with one cat. We also asked how many animals PETA adopted out last year.
I believe PETA adopted out about 25 animals, and we worked with the Virginia Beach SPCA to adopt out another about 150.
The organization euthanized more than 1,600. PETA defended what it calls humane killing of animals, saying there is an animal overpopulation crisis, and pointed to the Center for Consumer Freedom as an organization with an agenda.
These industries are afraid of PETA because we are effective.
We're very open about the fact that we've been funded by parts of the food and restaurant industry for years, and I think frankly they have legitimate beef, if you'll excuse the pun, in recognizing and having people recognize that PETA is as hypocritical as they are.
And PETA told us they do try to get word out locally about adoption, and in addition to the cat you saw, say they have 2 dogs up for adoption right now that are in foster homes. If you would like more information, you can send an email to adoptpeta.org. Stephanie Harris, 10 on your side.
The story of an alleged kidnapping of a dog right off a family's porch in Accomack County has spread like wildfire. The dog's owners are calling for justice for their pet. They say PETA is responsible for stealing the Chihuahua, but the Commonwealth's attorney is not taking the case. WBOC's Bill Mitch tonight in the Newsplex with us. Bill, the community is planning a rally to try and convince the prosecutor to change his mind.
Steve, this is Maya. According to her owners, Maya was taken by PETA last month and never returned. Maya's story has been popping up nationwide, including on the Huffington Post and in the New York Daily News. But despite the attention and possible video evidence, as of now, nothing is going to be done about Maya's kidnapping. This is surveillance video from Wilbur Serrate of Parksley. On October 18th, two members of PETA backed their van up to his house while nobody was home. Maya, the family's chihuahua, was on the front porch. A woman appears to lure Maya with treats before Maya heads back up onto the porch. Then you see the woman goes up onto the Serrate's porch and emerges a few seconds later with Maya in hand and drives off. For a few days, Wilbur Serrate says he called PETA, questioning their actions. He says when PETA learned of the video evidence, they returned to his home with a fruit basket and some bad news.
I asked her, what happened, Maya? Where is it? Sorry, but we killed Maya. Yeah, we put to sleep Maya, she said.
Two PETA members were arrested but will not face charges. WBOC spoke with Commonwealth's attorney Gary Agar, who says despite this video, there is not enough to prove criminal intent beyond a reasonable doubt. Edward Armstrong is a friend of the Serrates and wants to help the family get justice for Maya by planning a rally outside of Agar's office Monday morning.
If the Commonwealth attorney is not willing to prosecute, or if he doesn't see intent, then at least allow a special prosecutor to take a look at the case.
Both Serrate and Armstrong say they want a conviction to help all of the other people something like this may have happened to. We reached out to PETA and have gotten no response. That rally is set for 10:30 Monday morning outside the Commonwealth's attorney's office in the town of Accomack.